Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Wes.
And we are Life is Vanderful. And this is a tour of our 2017 Mercedes Sprinter Bevan. Welcome to our little home. So we'll take you through firstly into the main hall of our grand palace. Most people we've seen on tours before have used this entrance here to put maybe a lounge or a bathroom. We decided not to go with any of those options because we have to focus on the safety of our little girl. So we had installed this special seat here that can contain her car seat. Some of the Mercedes do have 3 seats in the front, and I guess it would have been an option to buy a van like that, but then she's not getting her own quiet space to have any rest. With having her here, she can have her own little caddy, so we've got a little DVD player, so we can put on some movies and things for her, and she can have a little bit of a snooze without the sun in her face and just a bit safer. So because we had this seat here, we did lose a lot of space, so we opted not to have a shower. So we'll show you later on what we do when we need to have a shower and we're not at a well-equipped campground. Just above her seat here, we've added a little bit of extra storage, just things like wipes, sanitizer, sunscreen. Wherever you can get extra storage in the van, we found it's really handy. We even have like a little pocket behind her seat which can store some books, her little Etch-a-Sketch. And we do also put a lot of toys in and around her seat as a really great spot for storage boxes. So we usually cram that full of little storage boxes there. So speaking about storage, we had this above storage area put in as well. So just to make use of the extra space. We've also put a couple of little hooks here so we can put a rail here. We could screen off the front cab if for any reason we wanted to do that. But we do have window covers to go on all the windows, so that in itself gives us a lot of privacy. So the front cab's pretty generic. We've tried to keep the access way pretty clear, so we've got a lot of room to get in and out of the front cab. We've got a couple little storage areas above the passenger and driver's seat, just to keep our books, bags, little personal knickknacks in there. And we have some storage under our seats as well. So in here we've got things like first aid kit and cleaners for the toilet as well. So we have our kitchen / bathroom all together in this little area here. I actually can store enough in here to last us about a week. So just lots of snacks, basic cooking, and coffee essentials. Below the microwave, we've just got one big cutlery drawer. It actually fits everything you would normally have in a first and second drawer. It's quite deep. And we've got this little cutlery tray which you can fit customizable, so just from Bunnings you can fit it into sort of any size drawer. Underneath the cutlery drawer we have our lavatory, so again just push button. This little tray slides out. I think it can hold something like 230 kilos, so all 3 of us could sit on this toilet together if we wanted to. Just a simple flip up of the lid and voila. Chemical toilet. We heard a lot of people don't like chemical toilets. They think they smell. We haven't had a problem at all. We think it's fantastic. We only use it for number 1s though. We have a very strict rule. So that's pretty easy to empty. It just lifts off the tray basically, and it can last us about 4 days as well. So if we're doing some off-grid camping, that comes in real handy. Welcome to our kitchen. So we chose this pretty gold little tap because we like to have the pull-out hose extension for washing the dishes. But you can also swing that around outside and wash your feet if you need to, coming back from the beach. We do have an outdoor tap as well, so we'll show you that in a bit. And then we have this little cutting board here that we got from Kmart, and believe it or not, it just fit perfectly over our sink. So it's nice and secure there. And we can use that as a cutting board to chop up veggies. And then we've got our sink underneath, nice and deep to hold all of our stuff. But we also have this extra storage space here. So you can just flip up this little bench, lock it into place, And then you've got some more prep area, which is super important making meals. So this is the switch here for our water. So we just switch the water pump on and away we go, as long as we filled up the tank, of course, which is 85 litres. And that's been getting us about 5 days worth of water, as long as we're just washing dishes and brushing our teeth, that sort of thing. If we were to use our shower, which is on the outside of the van, we would probably get much less, maybe 3 days, I'd say, if we were being conservative. We have our induction cooktop here. I've never used induction cooktops in my life until we came into the van, only gas and electric. And I'm amazed with these things and how quickly they cook. I'm a convert, so quick. But it only works when we're at a powered site, unfortunately. So when not at a powered site, we are fully onto our barbecue, which is gas, obviously. Another accessory that we have, which is just for the powered sites, is we have the microwave. I could probably count on one hand how many times we've used it though. We've maybe cooked some quick rice and reheated one meal. So if we were to do the van build over again, I would probably entirely scrap this, and in the future we may repurpose this for more storage, because what you find when you move your whole life into a van is you need lots of storage. So there are 2 kitchen appliances. The third one, of course, being the fridge. I thought this was going to be way too tiny to hold all our family groceries, but it is actually perfect, again, for about 5 days to a week's worth of groceries. Just careful selections with your meals and not too much freezer space. So just have to keep that in mind. Empty at the moment, but we do have our filtered water in here. We've got our crisper and our little freezer, which usually is just filled with ice cream and frozen peas. We have all our spices up here above the induction cooktop, which we've seen a lot of people do before and made a lot of sense, because you really want to make the pantry as clear as you can for all your food storage. And I find that I am using my spices a lot more when they're right in front of me here labeled. So you literally just, it's screwed in at the top, so you just untwist and hey presto, away you go. Also a great little nifty thing we found was this kitchen roll holder, just to keep the kitchen roll out of the way. Something you need all the time, so it's just easily accessible. And we have our knife rack over here, which is super secure and just handy again when you're cooking. You can just reach straight up, and it keeps the knives out of the way of our almost 2-year-old daughter, so she's not able to grab at them. So our other kitchen storage, apart from the pantry, we have this little undersink area. It holds our toilet paper. We have a little toilet roll roll. We can also fit our kettle in there, all our Glad wrap, our tin foil, NutriBullet pots, pans. We have these stackable pots and pans, so they all go into each other and the handle comes off, and that saves so much space, just from Amazon. So we're glad we got that little purchase. And then our other kitchen storage is just immediately above. So we've kept it really minimal, just the basic bowls, plates that you need. So we've just got a set of 4, a couple of cups, of course wine glasses, can't live without those. And our coffee maker, which is a Bellman Express and cannot rave any higher about it. It makes a coffee just like at your local cafe. Sometimes we even go to get coffees on days where we don't have time to make a coffee in the morning, and we think it's crap compared to our Bellman. So we're really glad we got that. It's really quick and easy to use on the induction cooktop. The only thing is that we have a hand grinder, so that can take a bit of time to get the beans all fresh and ready if you want to have your coffee super fresh and not have ground beans already. So the other cupboard storage we have is just one here, which is for books, electronics, knickknacks, and then all the other cupboards are for our clothes. So us, mum and dad, we have 2 each, and then our daughter just has one above her seat, and we managed to fit all of our clothes in there. We have one tiny vacuum storage bag in the garage, the back of the van, with winter clothes. And yeah, we just tried to keep it really minimal. We downsized, and then we trade in op shops regularly for different season clothing. So we have a lot of under-seat storage as well, just trying to make the most of everything. So just Velcro on the cushion, rip that one off, and plenty of storage in here. We have our vacuum cleaner, we've got wine, we've got a gas cooker for when we're off-grid and we want to boil the coffee or kettle on that. Just some extra linen, some extra toys, shoes. It's actually quite a lot that you can fit in there. And then we have another one on the other side as well, the other seat opposite. I won't lift that one up for you, but basically that's just got shoes. So that's our little shoe box just under here. So this is where we switch our AC on, which we can only use obviously again when we're at a powered site. And the AC just comes out of these little vents here. When we are off-grid or not needing to have the van extra cool, which is most of the time at the moment, we have these little fans up in the ceiling. There are two of them, one at the front and one at the rear of the van, and you can set them so that one sucks in air and the other one blows out air, and you can change that to whichever one you want to be sucking in and blowing out at whatever time. Yeah. We also have this nifty little table, which we added for rainy days when you're not able to sit outside under the awning. Just has a little latch here. Flip that down. We also store under here things like our notebooks, Scrabble Boggle, and just pull that one out like that, and hey presto, you have your breakfast table. So we have a lot of USB points around the van, which is really handy for charging cameras, phones, iPads. So we have a couple in the front and under our daughter's seat. We also have one here under our bench seat, which is a double adapter, same as in the front. And then we have a couple here behind our bed heads. So we've each got one at the moment powering the lights so we can charge our phones. And we've got a little light which can be blue light for reading, and if you hold that one down, a nice bright white light as well. Our lights up in the ceiling are just one touch to turn on and off, which are really handy. And we also get a lot of natural light, of course, from our bedroom window. Same window near our daughter's seat. You can have it completely open like this. You can press the buttons in and open it out wide for fresh air. And you can have it up like that for fly screen protection. Or you can pull it completely down to block out the sun altogether. So we have fly screen out the back, which goes completely down to the edge of the bed, and we also have some at the front door as well. So if we're in some environment where there are a lot of bugs, we can have a lot of air with the van completely open but still protected from those elements. And then lastly, the last thing to show you in here is our daughter's cot, which was specially built for her by the fit out specialist that we used, but unfortunately she hasn't quite taken to it. So now we do a slightly different arrangement with her bed, which I'll explain. And we did consider, what do we do with this area now? But we have decided to keep it. It is super useful for storing camp chairs, porta cot, and a lot of other items like linen while we're traveling. Without this, I don't really know where we would put those things. It has a little zip up, so it keeps all that stuff in nice and stable while we're driving. So I think we're going to keep that one around. It's also a really good height to put our laptop here, and we can watch movies at night in bed, so it's come in handy. So every child is really different. We thought that our daughter would love sleeping in her little cubby. She hated it. Then we thought she'd love sleeping with us. She wasn't sleeping that well. She's a very independent soul and she wanted her own bedroom. So we got a porta cot from Kmart, and it just happens to fit in this exact space here where I'm standing, and it still leaves a gap to walk through to the front if you need to. And it still allows us to access the toilet, which is handy. So Wes fashioned a little leg for one part of the cot because it does go down into the step. And we've put these hooks up here. And with those hooks we hang a little hoop curtain that we've got. And it completely gives her all that privacy that she needs. As soon as we put her down, she's comfortable, and then we're free to enjoy the bedroom, the fridge, the toilet. We can access everything we need without disturbing her. So now Wes is going to take you around the outside of the van and show you our garage and all the tech stuff.
So I'm going to take you through the exterior of the van and all the tech stuff. So as we mentioned earlier, it's a 2017 Mercedes Sprinter. It's a 519 Sprinter. It's long wheelbase and high roof. So the 519 means it's got a V6 motor and it's got the twin wheel set up at the rear. This van's also got long range tanks. So that's great for when we're doing long distance in the middle of Australia especially. And then round the back of the van, we've got our bike rack here. So with the Sprinter being our primary mode of transport, we've got our bikes as secondary, so when we pull up at a campsite if we don't want to move the van, we can easily get in our bikes and ride into town or just go for a nice ride in the bush somewhere. So we've got a Yakima swing bike rack, and really it was the only bike rack we could use to still open the back doors and use everything that we have in our back garage, and also get the great views. So yeah, I'll take you through how it works. There's just a little handle at the back here that you twist, and then you lift up this little latch and the bikes literally swing out to the side, so you can access the back doors of Bevan. So the back of Bevan here, we've got the twin fold out doors, and on this one we can move it out nice and wide, so we can get access to the garage and everything in the back. We've got a reverse camera up the top, which is really helpful with Bevan being 7 meters long, plus the bikes on the back. We've got a Sirocco fan here, which keeps us nice and cool at night in bed, which we haven't used that much. The Max Air fans are really good for that type of thing. And then down the bottom we've got our garage. On the left hand side here we've got our barbecue. So we've got a Weber Mini Q, so we can take the cover off and barbecue out the back here. So we do this most nights, to be honest, especially when we're off grid. We also have storage area underneath there, so we store all our accessories for the barbecue, so we can cook pizzas on this thing. We've got a pizza stone, roasts. We try and cook as many different things as we can on here, and so far it's been fantastic. So on the other side of the garage we've got a lot of storage here. We've got our cabana that we use a lot on the beach, and that's really easy to set up and take down, so we love that. That gives us a lot of shade but also keeps us nice and cool on the beaches, so we can take that down. Then again we've got another slide out tray here with all different kinds of things. We've got power, a 15 meter cord for when we're at powered sites. We've got toolkit in there, hose pipe. We've got a beach trolley that we use for lugging everything to the beach. Bucket and spade for Izzy, that's really important for her. We've got a table, a fold out table which sits up there nice and easy. We've got her fold out chair and table, her little camp chair table that we use for her. And yeah, that's you get quite a lot of storage here, and as I said as well, this just pulls out on the two hooks, so it gives us easy access to everything. Got a mat for the floor. We've got a pop-up shower surround that we'll show you where that goes in a second. And then behind this at the back is sort of all the battery, all the I guess the heart of the van there for the house side of things. So the air conditioners at the back. We have a 3000 watt inverter. We have two lithium ion batteries, so 300 amp hour batteries in the back. So that's hooked up to 580 watts of solar as well. So that, as well as the DC to DC smart charger, charges off the alternator. So between the solar and the alternator, that keeps the batteries charged up when we're off grid and just driving around without having to go to a powered site. So we've used quite a few powered sites as we've started off our adventure down the east coast of Australia, but as we get more into van life and going into South Australia, Western Australia, Northern Territory, we're going to be off grid for a lot longer. So this van's definitely got the capabilities to, spending 4 or 5 days, if not longer, completely off grid. And if we keep moving, we can keep charging and be off grid for as long as we want. So the back we've got our outdoor shower, which we just open with a key. If I can get in there. So this is just pulls out here. As you can see, got hot and cold water. Same as inside, we've got hot and cold water. So it's just on a trigger function, so it's really good for coming back from the beach and washing your feet. And then alternatively, we've got a suction cap that we can put on here, and we've got a surround that you can shower in privacy with, which we'll endeavour to show you in a later video. This is where we plug in if we're at a powered site. So we've got a 15 amp power there, and also a fuse to stop everything tripping inside. Underneath, which you can't see, that's our drainage for the grey water from the sink. So we can store that inside, and then when we need to drain it out, we just either get a bucket or a long hose to drain that away into a drain responsibly. And speaking of water, this is where we fill up the water tank. So as I said before, 85 litres for both the shower and the sink and tap. So yeah, it's locked there. Then we can just plug a hose in and fill it up. So the other thing we've got on the left hand side of the van is an awning. So this is really good for getting extra shade, and if we're going somewhere for a few days at a campsite to sort of set up. So it's mechanical with a crank. So you just hook this in here and open it up. And it does have these legs that you can pull out on each side. So these are easily adjustable to get the right height that you need. So once this is set up, we've got plenty of shade, and we also use it as a bit of a clothesline. We can attach rope or bungee cord to it, so we can dry off our clothes and mainly our beach towels after going to the beach for a swim. So the other sort of tech thing part of our van is both the water meter and our sort of battery meter. So we've got the water meter here, and we can see the level of our water, and both cold water and hot water. So at the moment they're nice and empty. We've also got our battery meter here, which is a good checkup, but the main thing that we use is the app. So we've got the Victron smart app, so we can see what our battery voltage is. Just connects via Bluetooth, so we can see what sort of battery level we're running at, see what our solar's running at. So yeah, it's a great thing to sort of see while we're on the road how it's all working. So at night time, when we're ready to shut up shop and close ourselves in for the night, we've got these shades, so they reflect all the sun and heat if it happens to be during the day, and they're nice and soft on the back. So they simply suction cup to the inside of the van here, and we've got these for all the windows at the front and the side and the back of the van, so that gets it nice and dark and gives us some privacy at night time. So thanks very much for watching our van tour. Hope you enjoyed us showing you around our home on wheels.
And if you'd like to follow our adventures around Australia, we are Life is Vanderful on Instagram, or you can subscribe on YouTube.